Now we're going over to one of, oh my God.
Hi,
Good to see you, Paulette.
Good to see you.
Yes, and my goodness, Five Rivers, you've been around a while.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and Gina, you are the director of
I'm the
that.
center director
and
at
Paulette
Five Rivers.
is the Friends of, so
Yes.
you're two different organizations.
Right,
but you're,
we work in partnership.
You're joined
Right.
at the hip.
Right,
Yes,
yeah, I'm a
we
state
are.
employee. I work for New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, and so Five Rivers is a DEC facility. But we have this wonderful long-term, 50 years now, partnership working with the Friends of Five Rivers. And Paulette is their latest
Development officer.
Development
Yeah.
officer. So
Okay, well, let's talk about Five Rivers.
Okay,
I know it's in Delmar.
yes.
What can you boast about it?
Um,
Do we have 2
it's-
hours here? Yeah. Okay.
Well,
50 years worth.
I like to say it's close, you know, it's everybody's backyard. I think for a lot of people during the pandemic, it's been an oasis. They got tired.
You're outside.
You're outside. There's 10 miles of trails, 450 acres of property. There's a variety of habitats. The trails are wide enough during the pandemic. They were wide enough people could, you know, pass each other on the path and be maskless and be comfortable. And it wasn't the rail trail. And the rail trail is lovely, but it's different. It's natural setting. It's a premier birding location in the Capital District. Plus or minus, we don't allow dogs. So
Well, if you're a birder, you don't want.
if you're a birder, if you want to see wildlife in a natural setting,
You don't want a dog
you
with
don't.
you.
Yeah, dogs are not compatible with that. Of course, if it's a service animal, that's fine.
Well,
That's
our
absolutely
service animals
accepted.
are trained differently.
Correct. It's a
I mean, they're not
trained
going to
service
try and run
animal.
off and.
Yeah, and it's an extension of the person that it is serving.
Exactly.
So service animals are permitted, but emotional support animals, I'm sorry, no.
Well,
Um,
that's kind of
Yeah.
one of those
But,
thingies.
you know, for families exploring or individuals, there's just so much variety there.
Is there a charge?
No, it's free. You pay with your state taxes.
I know, and don't we do that? We do that quite well.
And it's open year round. So the grounds are open every single day of the year from sunrise to sunset. The visitor center is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. The visitor center is closed on Sundays and is closed on state holidays. But there's so much time and opportunity
What
for
would I see in
exploring.
the visitor center? We're going to get to you, Paula.
No, it's okay.
I'm not ignoring you here.
Inside the visitor center, there's an exhibit area, and so we have hands-on, we say hands-on, but interactive exhibits, so stuff to manipulate. When families come in, I'll tell the kids that the rules for exploring the visitor center are, if you see a button, push it. If you see a drawer, open it up and look inside. You can touch anything you want except for the taxidermy, the stuffed animals.
Yeah.
And don't forget to crawl on the floor underneath the terrarium because there's a surprise there and you can touch it too. It's only plastic.
Oh.
And if adults want to go under and they need help, I'll help pull them back out. But we also have some live animals in the visitor center. We have a couple of turtles, a garter snake, and Argo, who is a barred owl, who is popular. And when I left today to come here,
You should have brought them with you.
no. When I left to come here, the visitor center was full with families and individuals exploring on their own. Lately, I think maybe because the weather's been so gorgeous, we seem to be getting a lot of visitors coming from group homes within the community.
Nice, yeah.
It's a great destination. Come in and explore the visitor center and then go for a walk. Oh,
Okay.
The other thing that people love, we have an observation beehive.
Oh, I love beehives.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
to
so
see how
it's
those
very-
little workers work.
It's very soothing.
Can we get to see the queen, or is she hiding?
If you look carefully, you may see her, but our hive has two sets of frames with a space in the
Okay,
middle.
so
So
they
she
can-
might, if you don't find her, maybe it's not your fault. Maybe she's just between the two
Yeah,
frames.
she's busy procreating, or doing
Yeah.
whatever queen bees do.
Exactly.
Paulette,
Yes.
why do they need a friend?
We are the nonprofit support arm for Friends, or for the Five Rivers Environmental Education Center. So we do work in partnership. We help provide education and stewardship support. I started there a few months ago. And when I started, I thought, oh, you know, Five Rivers. My kids went there when they were in the 5th grade on a field trip through the guided school program, which is a program that the Friends runs. But when I started, I thought, oh my goodness, my kids are now 19 and 21. We haven't been back since. What a shame and what a waste.
We forget sometimes.
We forget. I live in Niskuna. This is in Delmar. It's not that far.
No.
It's really a hidden gem.
Just down 85, right?
Right,
Yeah.
for our region. And my son would have loved the trails and the streams and the wildlife and the birding growing up. I mean, he still lives in the area, so I'm trying to encourage him now.
Yeah.
You have to go. You're going to love it. And the visitor center especially. I mean, on rainy days when my kids were growing up, we would go to the New York State Museum, which is wonderful. But the visitor center, which is a couple of years old now, the new...
2017, June of 2017 we opened.
Yes, so it's amazing. I mean, just to see the faces of the young children there in awe when they walk in the visitor center. And I thought, oh, what a shame my child would have been one of them. I think he still would be at the age of 21.
Do they have like lectures, or do they
Yes.
have, I mean, I'm kind of equating this to the Pine Bush because they do something quite similar. I mean, but it's a
Yes.
different area.
Yes.
But it's kind of, you remind me that you really are enriching kids.
Right.
Kids and the community.
Yeah, the interesting thing is Friends of Five Rivers does programming, but so does the DEC end of the operation.
Right.
And so we run programs for the public on weekends, on Saturdays, and so I'm going to be there this Saturday. But we also will do evening programs. Friends is doing things during the week and in the evenings as well. And then when
So
we
you
have-
work together. In other words, you're not going to
Yes.
duplicate.
We do,
Right.
and we're doing a lot of friend raising right now because it is our 50th anniversary year.
Isn't that
We were
something? The
founded in
50th, when I saw that, it was like in
1972.
September,
Yes.
you're having a big, is it October?
Yeah,
When
it's
is it?
September. So,
September.
of course, the grounds have been around a very long time, starting
Yeah,
with a farm
probably
and a
since
game farm and the
eternity.
Delmar Zoo and the Wildlife Research Center, but in 1972, it became the Five Rivers Environmental Education Center.
How did they get the name Five Rivers?
I was waiting for that
Yes.
question.
You knew I was
Yes,
coming up with
that's
that
the
one.
most
Well, it's
common
funny
question.
because children will ask that question and they'll ask
Oh.
it, you know, very.
Adults do too.
But adults
Yes,
do too, but
yes.
adults always ask with a sort of an embarrassed voice, but kids are very curious about it. And it's a great question because it comes back to something Paulette said. We serve the whole of the Capital District. The Five Rivers are the Five Rivers in the Capital District. Think of the major rivers. It's the Hudson, Mohawk, Hoosick, Sacandaga, and Schoharie.
Right.
Oftentimes, children will come and say, well, where are the Five Rivers, thinking that they're somewhere on site.
Oh, they all met
We
together.
have two. We have the Vloman Kill and we have the Philippine Kill, which are fun to explore, but
And
they're
I
not
live
the
on the
five.
Lisha Kill, so
Yeah.
there you go.
And the Five Rivers name comes from
I love
one
the
of the
name.
original founders, or the original, one of the original board members for the Friends of Five Rivers, Vincent Schaefer, who was.
Oh, I know, yeah, I know.
Yeah, so
I mean, I
he
knew
wrote
him, yeah.
a series of columns
Lived on Skimmerhorn Road,
for the
and-
Knickerbocker News.
Yeah.
And his series was called Five Rivers Rambles.
Oh, okay.
And the working title, when there were discussions about forming an environmental education center as the Delmar Experimental Game Farm was closing, the working title was Capital District Environmental Education Center.
Boring,
That's what I say.
boring.
But Five Rivers, that says to me, there's something I can do, there's something I can explore, and it's here for me because I'm in this big area.
Exactly,
So it really is an apt name.
yeah.
So we have a wonderful history book put together, Five Rivers, the history
And you do
of
have a river on
special
there, by the way.
place. Yes, so this was published a few years ago by Friends, and it's a wonderful book, and it talks about the complete history, not just the 50 years, but prior to that, and how everything came about. So it's a wonderful book that's for sale at our bookstore and gift shop.
Okay,
along with
stop by there and check it out.
Yeah, along
Yeah.
with a lot of other merchandise that we sell, including these these earrings, which are recycled earrings
Oh.
out of cereal
Look
boxes.
at that. Get out.
Yeah.
Oh, let me
so-
look. Excuse me.
So
What is it?
they're
love
recycled, made from cereal
Cereal boxes.
boxes.
Stop.
Yes. So Friends, we're doing a lot of fundraising again, like I said, this year. We just had a presentation by a poet talking about how to capture nature poetry. We're conducting creative nature expression exhibits every month with a theme, and it's in one of the classrooms of the visitor center. In May, it was photography. In June, it was quilting, and this month is mixed media with an emphasis on poetry, and next month is also mixed media, and we have a local artist, Noreen
This is
Powell,
amazing.
that's going to be speaking. So we offer this to the public at no charge. We do have some
Really?
programs that
Oh
we
my
do charge
goodness.
for. We have some
Yeah.
August art days
Well,
coming
if you
up.
have to pay the
where they can walk
presenter,
around
yeah.
with an artist, again, Noreen Powell or Carol Coogan, and do some nature sketching. We are charging for that. But we primarily are funded through membership. So we encourage people to not only visit Five Rivers, but consider becoming a member of Friends of Five Rivers, so we can in turn continue
it on.
passing it on from generations.
Pass it forward. Play it forward, yeah.
Right, environmental education programs, our guided school programs, supporting the visitor center and the DEC and what they do.
The important thing really is that through COVID and everything, people were looking for things to do and they wanted to be outside, and this
Right.
is,
And our programming is outside, I would say 90% of our programming is outdoors and wholly outdoors, especially the school programs. Those kids arrive on the school bus, they get off the bus, they maybe use the restroom if they need to, but they never go inside a building. They spend 2 hours exploring outdoors, making use of the scientific method as they explore, ties back into what they're doing in the classroom. The kids
what
have
a
great
wonderful
time.
educational, I mean, we
Oh,
got to get back
yeah.
to the earth, I mean, and
Yes.
the environment. I mean, we have kind of like, I don't know what's happened, but we've got to get back to protecting our environment.
And I think-
and to raising the awareness from children on up, how important, even those little spiders that are running around, don't kill them, they're there to do their job.
And there's families this week who are learning all about spiders, so perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I
for
never
our Friends
kill a
of Five
spider, I carry it
Rivers.
outside. Here, go on, baby. Go get an aphid.
We're currently holding our summer nature weeks for 2 to 8-year-olds
Yeah.
right now. So it's a very family-friendly
We need to
place.
get kids back and get
And-
them off their little whatever they're holding in
Right.
their hands and get onto earth.
So we do have our big event coming up on September 17th, which is
That's
our
your
fall
50th,
festival.
yeah, and-
Our annual
And I
Five
think we
Rivers
had
Fall
that up
Festival.
there on the screen. There
Yes.
it is.
I brought
So-
in a couple of pictures from previous fall
Yeah.
festivals.
Yep, I think we've had those up there.
Yeah.
I haven't been looking at the screen, I've just been.
So no admission, parking is free. We have a lot of activities for people of all ages. So we encourage people to attend that event, learn more about Five Rivers, learn more about Friends of Five Rivers.
I'll have to
consider
add some of your free
membership
events to
with
my,
us.
I send out a weekly, thing with, list all the free events in the
Yes.
area. I'll have to add some of yours to
Yeah,
it.
and one of the things that I'd like to say is, for some people from the city of Albany, they may have difficulty getting to Five Rivers. CDTA has worked with the Mohawk Hudson Land Conservancy, and DEC is a funding partner in this as well. There's a nature bus
Oh,
now
wonderful.
that runs on Saturdays during the summer
Perfect.
months from. It has a route that goes through downtown Albany, and then
Gotta publicize
comes
that,
to
yeah.
Five Rivers every other Saturday. The Saturdays that it doesn't come to Five Rivers, it goes all the way out to Thatcher Park.
Oh,
And the Land
Perfect.
Conservancy has information about the nature bus on their website, so to learn more, you just go to,
I'm not aware of it, and I'm really glad you mentioned that to us.
yeah,
Yes,
that's been
thank
a
you.
really great service.
Yeah.
And for people who don't have their own transportation,
Yeah.
it's been wonderful.
Yeah.
Last year, they tried it for the first year.
Successful.
Successful, and
Building.
and this year it's really grown. It's good to see. Yeah.
I want to thank you both for being here and to
Thank you.
telling
Thank
us,
you.
telling our viewers and myself a little bit more about Five Rivers.
It
Our
was a
theme
pleasure.
this year is connection through nature.
Yeah,
And so,
absolutely.
we encourage
I'm with you.
everybody to
I'm with you.
come on out and visit us.
Good. We're going to take a switch and go to the
Thank you.
Appalachian Trail now.
Thank you.